between Newport and Highland.
Which is right there, I believe.
Yeah,
right
it's right
there.
here.
So State Route 63, north of Highway 36, and that is the circulation center right there. So, of course, we're going to be with you here all afternoon long. We probably have about 5, maybe 6 hours of storminess here before all of this sweeps on out of here. But our sampling here, this is not the greatest rotation, but we're also scanning, Ryan, a couple thousand feet above the surface here.
We're scanning 4,000 feet up,
okay.
So that's tough to get a sampling of what's going on near the surface.
And oftentimes when we're sampling in between radar sites, I say sometimes we're in like radar no man's land because the radar beam is so high. There's a lot of stuff that can happen below 4,000 or 5,000 feet that we just don't know. But even with the lowest level that we're sampling here, this is not a tremendous amount of what we would call gate-to-gate shear, red and green together. So let's go back to that shear rate product here that cleans this mess up just a little bit. And we're getting some weaker rotation here, not the most intense. We would be really concerned if we had some of that yellow showing on up right here. But we want to make you prepared and make you ready to just put your severe weather action plan in place. We want you to be safe, your family to be safe as these storms come on in. And Howard, Newport areas north of Highland, this is where we have the greatest amount of either rotation or some straight line wind here. And there's our updated shear rate product. So I do want to go downstream here. Let's do another storm track, Ryan, on this area of rotation and push us back to the northeast. So this is at some point going to be slipping into other locations. And right now, primarily in Vermillion County, but it's lifting to the northeast right here at about 30, 35, maybe 40, 45. So these are, sometimes these storms could be moving 50, 60, 70. They're not moving that fast today, but downstream, Howard, basically at 255, it is 252 right now. So essentially right now, if you're in Howard, you need to be in your safe zone. Hopefully you are. Kingman right here, this would be about 305. And down past Centennial there, that would be 311. So downstream, that's where the area of rotation is going to be coming up towards these areas. It looks like this is going to be staying south of Lafayette at this point, and that is the storm right there. There's a lot of lightning in this, and there's probably a pretty ugly looking shelf cloud or something on the leading edge of this, and really dark, ominous sky. The atmosphere is juiced up today. Temperatures are in the 80s. Our dew points are in the low to mid 70s. It's extremely humid, and our cloud bases are probably on the lower side out here just because of all of the humidity in place. But that circulation here, again, we're scanning a couple thousand feet above the surface. That one right here near Newport in Vermillion County, prompting this tornado warning until 3:15. It is 2:52 right now. So that is the circulation. Let's go down to the other storm cell real quick, Ryan, if you could, the one down in Illinois.
I just wanted to add something quick from the Weather Service. They're watching more broad rotation in Fountain County right now. It's just a regular severe thunderstorm. But for now, I'm going to quickly switch over to velocity. Just broader rotation near Petersburg in Fountain County.
Yeah.
So watching kind of that south.
For sure. So there's some of that broad rotation, and there could be also throw in the base velocity product here. So this is storm relative velocity. Is this base right here?
This is base right now.
Okay, so sample a couple of these values here. This is the radar that is just sampling wind that would be coming towards the radar site. And so we are sampling some wind speeds above ground level here. Could be 30 to 50 miles per hour. And some of that could be coming on down. So we don't need a quote-unquote severe storm to produce wind damage or power outages. We can have wind gusts like this with some saturated soil. So gusty wind regardless, with some of that broad rotation or some straight line wind. So let's go back on and throw our radar back onto the map here, our traditional view. The darker the color, the more intense rainfall rates, probably blinding rain and maybe some localized flooding here if these storms stall out just a little bit in your backyard. Some of the storms we had earlier today in the central part of Indiana were gully washers producing a lot of lightning and also tons of just tons of wind gusts that, not all were severe, but they were still causing some tree issues and power outage issues across the region. Ryan?
All right, I got two things to add with tornado warning. We saw that area of rotation near Newport. The downtrend on the rotation, so it is weaker, but they are noting that straight line winds of 60 mile an hour plus likely moving into Newport, which is in Vermillion County, about to cross into Parke County. And we also just got a new severe thunderstorm warning, which includes Montgomery and Lafayette until 3:45 for damaging wind as the primary threat.
Thanks, Ryan. So there's that line of storms, the new warnings right here, Lafayette, Crawfordsville. These warnings are extended for severe thunderstorm warnings. The uptick in wind there could cause some straight line wind damage, and all of that is back to the west, Attica, Covington right now. The tornado warning storm, the area of rotation that has broadened out just a little bit. This is not the most intense circulation we've ever had on radar, but again, in Vermillion County, you remain under that tornado warning until 3:15. Let's go down southwest of Terre Haute real quick. I want to update folks on this. So Terre Haute, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. There is a tornado warning down here in Illinois, Marshall and Melrose right here. And this tornado warning storm rather, is lifting to the northeast, and it's going to be crossing the state line as well. So just to the northeast of Melrose, Ryan is illustrating that right there. That is where we could have that circulation, and it is lifting to the northeast. So Terre Haute, you are on that line right here, 320 for the circulation, if it does hold together. So we want to give you that alert to make sure you are safe and prepared and don't get caught off guard here across western Indiana. Terre Haute right now, you are in the crosshairs of this tornado warning storm in Illinois, about ready to slip over into Indiana, but it's not issued for a tornado warning yet thus far in this area for Vigo County, Indiana, including Terre Haute. So just be extra cautious as the storm line comes on in. Let's zoom out just a little bit, Ryan. Pop on the lightning. I just want to give folks the bearing again. For reference, we're on the air right now for storms out west. Pretty quiet in central Indiana. Building humidity. Tons of lightning here. If we can put the counter on, there's thousands of strikes likely over the last couple of minutes here. About 700 just in this view alone in just the last 5 minutes or so. So we're getting a lot of lightning. That's been one of the symptoms of these strong storms over the last few days back to the west. Lots of lightning, juiced up atmosphere, potential flooding, and now we have a wall of severe thunderstorms coming into western Indiana with likely ominous looking clouds, gusty wind, and also tons of lightning and these tornado warning storms. So that's the big picture. Want to just reset the situation. We are nearing 3 o'clock and the start of Focus on Family and the Community here at Wish TV. We will keep our severe weather coverage going until we do not have an imminent tornado threat. And right now we just have a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning out towards areas west and northwest of Rockville. This warning goes until 3:15. Ryan, what do you have?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, so we're starting to get some observations coming out of eastern Illinois, and we just got one out of Danville, which is just across the state line in eastern Illinois. They gusted to 47 miles an hour.
Okay.
So that's not too far away from severe criteria, and that same part of the line moved into western Indiana.
And one thing that you could throw on, Ryan, is put on the power outage map here. And we can just show you the big picture as far as the outages. We had a couple thousand earlier today, and the brighter the color illustrates where we have the recent outages here. We can query some of these values. And, you know, we're getting numerous power outages back to the west in Illinois, and we're getting some scattered around parts of western Indiana. You know, not a tremendous volume of outages this far, although some locations have, some counties have over 2,000, but we will likely have this power outage problem going into the afternoon and evening, even into the metro, really all across the state of Indiana. So that's our current power outage situation. Let's pop on our radar again and show you the tornado warning storm down here in this area. Let's zoom on into that rotation once again and just see where we stand right now. Again, if you are tuning in to Focus on Family, we are doing severe weather coverage right here on Wish TV and wishtv.com, and keeping you updated, of course, on our social media as well. I'm Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. We got the weather team in play at this hour, and we will just be on the air here and let you know that we are about ready to start a newscast, but we will stay here on the weather side once we do officially start. So just having said all that, Ryan, what do you have?
I was just going to add, tornado warning goes until 3:15, and we are going to reset and kind of restart the show here in less than a minute and kind of run the open.
Yeah, we're going to start our show. We'll be back here in just a split second, but as Ryan just mentioned, this tornado warning Doppler radar indicated goes until 3:15, and we'll see in just a split second. We're going to start Focus on the Family right here on Wish TV.
From Wish TV, Indiana's only statewide TV news network. This is a Storm Track 8 weather alert.
Okay, I'm Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. You're watching Focus on the Family here on some of that rotation that will prompt the tornado warnings. But right now, like from a radar perspective here in Parke County, we are looking at some extensive potential for some damaging wind, trees coming down, power outages, and we'll track this out. Thanks, Ryan, for that. And the areas from Newport to what is that, Arabia right there? Okay,
correct.
So Tangier, Coloma, Rockport, Sylvania, Bloomingdale, these locations over the next 10 minutes. Downstream, this is where we would have the greatest potential here for some of this strong wind, which is right here. Very strong straight line wind, a big problem right there. Don't really see a major tornado threat at this point. There's a little bit of broad rotation in there, but it looks like this is turning into more of a damaging wind problem.
That is correct. And the Weather Service right now doesn't have plans for this tornado warning that's just west of Terre Haute to extend into Vigo County. But as you were mentioning, Keith, it's starting to pan out as the damaging wind threat we've been forecasting. Consistent gusts up to 60 miles an hour possible, still within the straight line winds that are marching to the east back into central Indiana.
Right, so if you're here out ahead of the line, anywhere in Indiana right now, anywhere, just because this whole line is going to move across the state, you may want to pull in your trash cans, your lawn furniture, just to get out ahead of the strong wind. I was driving around parts of South Indy today. It was trash day, a lot of trash cans out. And if they're empty, those things are going to blow away if we have some of these high wind gusts. So if it's something that is not tied down in your yard, out here in western Indiana now, or really across the entire state, we may have some issues here. So again, just to reset things, tornado warning goes until 3:15 for these areas north and west of Rockville right here. This is the only tornado warning we have in the state. Vermillion County right here, there's Newport, Highland, Marshall, there's Highway 41. And these locations here are still technically under the tornado warning, but as we go back to our velocity here, a shear rate or velocity, it really is morphing into the straight line wind concern right now. So this is just a heads up for you that it looks like our tornado threat has diminished just a little bit. We're going to stay here until that tornado warning expires, but right now we still have a tornado warning in effect. But very strong wind, this is a big concern as this rolls on into areas deeper into western Indiana. Rockville, Marshall, Kingman, Highway 41, areas just west of there here in Vermillion County. You're still warned for that tornado warning, but it looks like more of a damaging wind threat. Let's check out some other areas here up north and down south just to show the bigger picture. And let's go out towards Lafayette, West Lafayette here. These are severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings, but right here, of course, we got a lot of folks here around Purdue, areas west and south. This is that Boeing line from Oxford to just east of Attica. Let's throw on the wind velocity here and see exactly what we can expect. And, you know, again, we're sampling things pretty high up, but there's likely some sign of very strong wind. Let's throw on our shear rate up here.
Yeah.
There's probably, yeah, right here. That is a little demarcation of a gust front coming into Lafayette, West Lafayette, and that's where we would have that burst of wind, heavy rain, tremendous amounts of lightning, and then things will settle on down after that. So this is probably pretty spooky coming on in. I'm sure the clouds are pretty low, pretty dark, pretty ugly as it comes on in, but this is a wall of wind coming into the Lafayette, West Lafayette area. And again, severe thunderstorm warning for all of this area in the outline orange. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. When does that expire? Let's just toggle that real quick. That goes until 3:45. So it's 3:05 right now. So at least another 40 minutes for areas from Lafayette to Linden and areas east. Back to the west, the storms are moving on through, and you'll be out of the storms quickly. So going back to radar right there, we'll likely have some gusty wind, some tremendous amounts of rain with that storm cell right here, and tons of lightning. So again, we're tracking one tornado warning right now. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go back down that line and check out that storm down towards areas in eastern Illinois. But we're on the air because of that tornado warning just to the northwest of Rockville. That goes until 3:15, and also this one here in Clark County, Illinois, southeast of Marshall. Terre Haute for reference here. and there's I-70. So folks traveling along 70 and even 65 out towards Lafayette, really having to deal with some blinding rain as this comes on in. And if you're going to be driving in later on this afternoon, central Indiana, eastern areas of Indiana, the metro, when these storms come on in, you're going to want to slow down and maybe just pull off the highway because this is going to be blinding rain as it comes on in. We expect this whole line to come on in. But right now, this tornado warning goes until 3:15. The Weather Service in Indianapolis not indicating that we're going to have an extension of that tornado warning into Indiana. So two Doppler radar indicated tornado warnings right now, one in Illinois, the other one here back to the northwest of Rockville right here for Parke County, and it had been in effect for parts of Vermillion County. Ryan, what do you have real quick?
All right, we're watching another area of rotation that's developing, and I think, Keith, this is what we're going to be monitoring the next couple hours, is you get this line of storms and then these quick spin-ups or potential area of rotations embedded in this line. And right now they're watching one, it looks like west of Lafayette. And I'm assuming it might be one of these two that are embedded in the line.
Yeah, and and these things are real hard to pinpoint. So we're on the air here. We just want to let you know, as this comes on in, I know it's not tornado warned, but we can get a quick spin up in the couple of minutes between radar scans here. And oftentimes we'll get one of these.
We just got a new one.
Okay, so we're getting a new tornado warning for this storm right here, correct?
Yeah, it's Carroll in Tippecanoe County, and it looks like same type of movement, still out of the northeast. This one's speeding up at 65 miles an hour, radar indicated, and just populated right there.
Okay, so that will include the Lafayette area and areas to the northeast. So so if you're in Lafayette, West Lafayette, basements, storm shelters, interior rooms away from windows, closets, bathrooms, always a good place to be. But this is an intense storm, and even if you don't get a tornado warning or a tornado in your backyard, we don't want that to happen. Do plan on some strong damaging wind that could cause power outages and other things to occur around your property. Make sure you have the Storm Track 8 app on your device and also our news app. You can carry us into your basement, your closet, and we will ride out the storm with you because we are here to make sure that you are on the safe side. And again, this tornado warning goes until 3:45. So we are going to continue our coverage right here on Wish TV and wishtv.com until these tornado warnings have expired. Ryan.
Now, I think they purposely did this tornado warning a little bit wide at the beginning just because you're getting multiple areas of rotation, sort of kinks in a line that we were just talking about, Keith.
Yeah, and I think that would be like the one you would really see.
Yeah.
The green's a little bit brighter, but these greens and reds are not like right together.
Yeah.
They're not ultra bright here, but oftentimes we'll get a confirmed EF0, EF1 type tornado with one of these quick circulations that may only last a couple of minutes. So we're giving you lead time. It's 3:09 right now, and this warning goes until 3:45. So downstream here, let's do one of those storm tracks again, Ryan. And you can see how fast it's moving to the northeast at about 65 miles per hour. And there's that circulation right here. So Lafayette, West Lafayette, you need to be in your safe zone right now. But downstream, like areas around Ash Grove by 317, and then downstream after that, along Highway 421, there's I-65 right here. So this is going to continue lifting to the northeast. Battleground 315, Ash Grove, again, 317, Americas by 319. Areas around Lafayette, West Lafayette, Indiana, moving to the east-northeast, and Tippecanoe County and Carroll? Carroll County, which is just to the northeast here. I'm trying to get still getting my bearings here since I'm a new transplant to Indiana. But this is going to be trial by fire here as we go throughout the severe weather event here this afternoon. So severe weather for these areas near Lafayette, West Lafayette, again until 3:45. There's our update. And we can clean this up. That would be probably the best. We don't want this to happen. That would be the best circulation right here. But keep in mind, these storms are moving quickly. So Battleground is here, Delphi right here. And what is, Ryan, give me some geography. This is highway.
I believe that is Old State Road 25.
Okay, so along that route right here from Lafayette, West Lafayette, up towards Delphi, northeastern parts of Tippecanoe County, Carroll County. This is what you just need to be prepared for. This is a fast-moving squall line. There could be a brief circulation, and something could be happening right now. We just don't know. We are assuming there is potential here, And this is not a clear-cut scenario with like a monster supercell where we can show the debris tracker. We can pop on our debris tracker, but most likely we're looking at, you know,
nothing much.
Nothing at this point, which is good. We don't want that to happen.
Two things to add. I know we have some cameras right around 65, so if our producers can sort of look to see if we have any cameras that happen to be pointing to the northwest on 65. And another word of caution, if you're going out trying to find video of this thing, it's a straight line of showers and storms, so it's just moving in. Anything that is developing, any areas of rotation, would be heavily rain wrapped. So really don't recommend leaving your tornado safe spot in Tippecanoe County or Carroll County. And some of these other locations we're going to have to watch down the line, Delphi in Carroll County, as it's quickly going to the northeast at 6.
Dana, all Indiana, we talked to a travel expert named Stacey Ray about how it is greater later and how you can take the trip of a lifetime over the age of 45. All that and more is happening on allindiana.tv or right here at 4.
So rotation potential, but a lot of ugliness in terms of the looks of the storms, and we have a new one here.
Yep, so we got a new tornado warning. It's Vigo County, Parke County, and very northern parts of Clay County until 3:45. Again, radar indicated rotation, and we should have some cameras along I-70. I'm sure we can try to find some of those.
Yeah, let's go ahead and effort some of those cameras from the CAD and just get it into our ears and let us know when you have one of those available. Take it. But again, so we have multiple tornado warnings now in effect. It's 3:12, and these both go until 3:45. There's Terre Haute and areas along Highway 41 just north of 70. Let's go on our velocity here, or first let's do that storm track, and there you go. It's moving to the northeast.
It's a little bit slower too than the one to the north. It's at 40 miles an hour, with the other one being at 65 miles an hour.
And this is right over Terre Haute right now. Saw some reports of some power flickering out that way, and that can be expected with these strong storms. So Terre Haute right here, but downstream as we get into locations north and east out towards Burnett and Coal Bluff, and there's Bridgetown here. You know the drill. Basements, interior rooms away from windows, storm shelters if you got them. It's going to be a pretty rough go here as this line of storms comes on in. A lot of lightning, spooky looking clouds, shelf clouds, a lot of stuff happening, and there is some hail potential here. There is the rotation, which is just on the north side of Terre Haute right here. And again, green is flowing, wind flowing towards the radar site right away, and there is that circulation right here. It's on the broader side, but again, we are zooming in with our radar, you know, above ground level a little bit here. So this is not right down where we live. This is higher up in the atmosphere, and this is on the northern side of Terre Haute.
US 40.
Radar location.
US 41.
Yep. Okay, so US 41 areas north of downtown Terre Haute. We have this rotating storm. So we have two warnings now in effect. This one in Terre Haute, and also for Clay County, and also was it Vigo County too, right?
Correct. So Vigo County is the majority of this warning, barely slipping into Parke County and extreme northern portions of Clay County.
Okay, so we're going to go to southwest Lafayette, camera up there here, and the first tornado warning we've been dealing with for the last couple of minutes. You can see we have some very wet activity here. This is slow-moving traffic, and again, this is the Lafayette area where we have a tornado warning in effect. We still have power there on those lights. Traffic moving slow probably, but it's a little bit wet out there. Okay, let's go back to Storm Tracker and show you that storm. Let's go back up to the storm.
We're in Lafayette right now.
We are. Okay, thanks very much for that, Ryan. Tippecanoe County, we continue the tornado warning, and on the leading edge, that's where we may have a couple of these little kinks. And one other side note, this is one of those little bow echo type things. So like on the leading edge, like typically we would have maybe that gustnado or tornado, but the strongest wind is probably flowing out right here. Let's go to that wind velocity product here.
You know, velocity wasn't picking up much, but based on radar, it's clear that winds are very strong in this line that are drifting off to the north and east.
Yeah, the radar beam up there is not really oriented in a way for us to really see the wind flowing properly. So maybe our shear rate product's probably a little bit better here, and that cleans things up a little bit. Again, the storm is moving perpendicular to our radar beam, so we're looking at it from an odd angle from a wind speed and direction perspective. So right here around Lafayette and areas to the northeast right now, ugly clouds, shelf cloud, damaging wind potential here, and it's racing to the northeast at about 65 miles per hour. So some of these other locations downstream here, Battleground right now, Monitor 320, Buck Creek by 320 as well, and Pittsburgh by 324 downstream right here. And this is going to lift it along and northeast of Highway 421. The worst of any rotation potential, I guess you could say, is now lifting northeast of I-65. But this is a wall of wind-driven rain and lightning and maybe some small hail here. Haven't had a tremendous amount of hail reported today, I don't think, but we've had a lot of lightning, tons of rain, and high rainfall rates, blinding rain. And that little Boeing structure right there near the Battleground area, that's where we could have some of that intense straight line wind, Brian.
And we are getting some wind reports, so I'm sure we're going to get a wind report out of Lafayette any second. But going further off to the south, as we're going closer to Terre Haute, that's where we have multiple wind reports near 60 miles an hour, and that's right around severe thunderstorm criteria. So even though we have the tornado warning in place, you're still seeing winds that are gusting 60 miles an hour plus. Haven't seen much hail within some of these cells off to the south. And the rotation still somewhat broad in Terre Haute, although north of Terre Haute. Although, Keith, it does look like we're seeing some of this tighten up, or potentially still just some strong winds on the north side there.
Yeah, for sure. We are going to be monitoring this a little bit on the intense side here. Our radar beam is more aligned with the direction of the storms down here in Terre Haute. So this is where we have the potential for some strong straight line wind. Tornado warning continues for areas near Terre Haute. We're going to go back to northeast Lafayette with the other tornado warning. This is right along I-65. And again, blinding rain, slow moving traffic, leave extra space between you and your next vehicle. And just be aware if you're driving later today, or maybe you're in a car listening to this live stream with somebody that is driving. Just slow down. You don't want to hydroplane with blinding rain and poor visibility. And it doesn't look like we have a tremendous amount of traffic there in the northeastern part of Lafayette right now along 65, but that's a very busy highway, we know, and we just have to be extra safe. We also have I-70 and I-74 punching into the western and southwestern part of this line of storm. So again, here's the big picture. Let me just reset the situation for you right now. It is 3:18. This is a weather alert. We are interrupting our regularly scheduled newscast right now. I'm Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson, Meteorologist Ryan Morris. We have the whole weather team in play this afternoon, and we have a lot of stuff to watch on Storm Tracker right now from Terre Haute to Lafayette, a big line of storms. So let's go to a camera out towards Terre Haute right now, where we've had some power flickers and also some. Looks like those lights just went off there in the foreground,
well,
right?
I was also going to say that's US 41.
Okay, no, that's the backside of those lights, okay. But anyway, that is US 41 at Ohio Street in the Terre Haute area. I have seen some reports of some power flickering there. So just be forewarned, these are Doppler radar indicated warnings. As of right now, as of 3:19, we have not had a confirmed tornado that we know of so far. We've had some circulation, some squirreliness here on the radar, but nothing that is just, painting red in our face that this is an imminent tornado threat. But we have a tornado possibility here with some of these storms. But Ryan's just sampling some of these storms here, some of the wind speeds down in this area, Terre Haute, right?
Yeah, just north of Terre Haute, northern Vigo County.
Okay, right there, northern Vigo. So wind speeds above the surface, 50, 60 plus, and it doesn't take much for some of that wind to come on down and bow out. And all of this bright green, that's where we have some high winds with the storms. And lightning is very high too. So this could be continuous lightning. This is a pretty ferocious storm as it comes on in. And for areas north and east of Terre Haute, specifically areas southwest of Rosedale right now, that's a little interesting little thing there we'll have to watch. But we're watching out for straight line wind and these small areas of rotation, and the areas of rotation would be at the leading edge of the activity. So
I agree, Keith. That might be an area to watch if you're looking. going back between velocity and reflectivity, right on the leading edge, you might have some signature there starting to pick up.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just like we always look for these little notches and these little things right on the leading edge. They're very small, they're very subtle. We're getting our radar data every couple of minutes, and a tornado can spin up in between our radar scans at this particular site.